Do you enjoy cutting down enough trees for your base to make an impact on global warming? You know, maybe you aren't like us eco-friendly goblins living underground, and there's definitely nothing wrong with that. Dude, imagine having to cut down that many trees to make a base. Wait, you're still here? Well, in that case, I might have the perfect base for you. That's right, it's time to bust out your Giga Chad axe and upgrade that dingy old base. Wait, just before we start the tour, I have a trade offer. You give me your hard-earned money, and I'll give you all of my build downloads, exclusive Discord ranks, and more. My Patreon link is in the description, so just have a think about it. Okay, so starting off the tour, let's first, of course, take a look around the exterior. So as you can see, we have a pretty circular design here, so if you like circles, this base is for you. So we've got one big outer circle, which is like the main kind of fence. Then we have an inner circle to break up our different crop fields. As you can see, we have a bunch of carrot and wheat, kind of alternating between the two of them. And then we have our base in the center here that is circular as well. Now taking it back to the outside, as you can see on some sides here, we don't have some crops. We actually have a animal farm on this side. We got 3 separated areas for chickens, cows, and sheep. And then on the opposite side of this, we have a nice horse stable kind of area here with some water for him to drink. Then over here, we have our mine entrance that goes not very far down because I'm a lazy bastard. And then beside this, we have a nice kind of mainly aesthetic area. And before you say anything, yes, I know how it looks. I'm sorry. But yeah, this area is pretty much like a little blacksmith kind of thing. You're not really supposed to use it. It just looks cool. Feel free to replace this with something kind of more useful if you wanted. And then that brings us back over to the base and the exterior of the base. As you can see, we have 2 stories and we also have an attic as well for some extra storage. And now I'll show you what this base started out as over here. Now this base actually took me a really long time to create. As you can see, it kind of started off as a 3-story base and I thought it looked kind of weird. So I ended up just changing it over to 2 stories, which looks a lot better in my opinion. We've got a bunch of nice windows on the top floor with heaps of pot plants going all the way around the base just to keep the color nice and vibrant. What the mother of God is going on here? What the hell? Dude, what's happening to my base? But yeah, so taking a look around the outside, we have a nice roof as well. It kind of goes each 4 directions. A bunch of nice stone trim, some nice window accents. I think I already mentioned that, maybe not. But yeah, that pretty much does it for the exterior. Now let's take a look at the inside. So on this first floor here, as you can see, we have a nice ladder that heads up to the 2nd floor and also the attic, and we'll get to that in a minute. And now heading to the left, we have our crafting area here in the left side. We got some nice little decorations as well, and all of the crafting blocks that you'll probably need. If you feel like you need more, like a loom and a cartography table, feel free to replace some of these barrels with those blocks. To the right of this, we have our smelting area. We've got a bunch of regular furnaces, also some blast furnaces and smokers. To the right of this, we have a kind of decorative area with some armor stands, and we got the same thing over here as well, and those are in between our enchanting area. In this enchanting area, it of course reaches a full level 30, and we also have some barrels here to store in your enchanted books or your lapis lazuli. To the right of this, we have our storage area. We just have a bunch of double chests, and we've got some more over here with some barrels and also a lectern. So after a heavy day of working, you can come in and write in your diary. And now that's it for the entire 1st floor. Now let's head up to the 2nd floor. So up here, turning away from the ladder, as you can see, we have our bedroom. We also have some personal storage and some barrels up here, so you can put in your like kind of special armor that you don't want to lose, or your tools or whatever. And to the left of this, we have our brewing area with some more storage. There's storage in every section, I'm not going to mention it. In the middle here, we also have a water source for your water bottles. I prefer doing this compared to a cauldron because a cauldron runs out, but this never does, and it looks kind of cool as well. Now to the left of this, we have our nether wart farm. This is obviously to go with the brewing area, so you can just grow your stuff here and then just convert it into potions straight away. And then in the final section over here, we just have some more storage. I couldn't really think of what else to put here, so we just got some chests, mate. Feel free to replace any of these with whatever you think is more useful to you. Now all of these doors here as well also lead out to our balconies. Don't mind that. Now, I haven't really put anything out here aside from our nice pot plants, so just feel free to add in whatever the hell you want. You could put in a nice table and chairs. There isn't really too much room to add anything, but yeah. So now let's head up to the final floor, the attic. And up here, all we pretty much have is just some more storage. There's not really too much room up here, and I figured more storage couldn't hurt, so I just crammed in as many double chests as I could. And obviously, this is meant to kind of be like the offhand storage, so you put stuff up here that you don't really use too often, like cobblestone and dirt and just random crap like that. And yeah, so that pretty much covers the entire tour of the base. If you want to create this base for yourself, feel free to stick around and we'll get started on the tutorial right now. Okay, so starting off, you're of course going to need a massive open area like this one. From edge to edge of the outermost circle is 54 blocks in between, so just kind of use that as a reference. And so starting off, we will be starting with, of course, the outer circle to outline the base. So the first thing we're going to do is place in 3 spruce fence gates like so, and then to the left and right, we're going to be placing some polished andesite blocks, and we're going to be doubling these up as well and chucking some lanterns on top while we're at it. Now, all of the rest of these blocks will have a polished andesite slab on top, but for now, I'm just going to be placing the single block itself just to make things a bit easier, and we'll go around at the end of it and add all of our slabs on top. So either feel free to follow along with me right now, or you can use the layout that's shown on screen right here, which pretty much just shows exactly how all of the circles are made. But if you don't want to follow along with that, feel free to follow along with me right now. So to the right of this gate here, we're going to be placing 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3. This is going to be a lot of counting, by the way. Now we're going to go in towards where the center of the base will be, and we're going to be placing another 3 blocks. Then we're going to go in again and another 3 blocks. Then we're going to go in with 2, and then we're going to go 2 again. Then we're going to be going in by 1 and just placing 1 block, and we're going to do this 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on the central block, which is this one right here, we're going to be placing another block with a lantern on top. And so this is kind of the middle point of our circle. So what we're going to be doing now is just repeating this exact same design right here and just kind of mirroring it on this side. So from here, we're going to be going out by 2, then we're going to go another 2, then we're going to go back to 3, and then another 3, and then finally 4, and then this is where our next gate will be right here. So that's the basic design. This is pretty much just repeated a couple times until we reach back around to here. I'm not going to show you all of that because it's just the exact same thing that we just did. Okay, and with all of that done, your circle should now be looking like this. Now, the next thing we're going to be doing before we move on to the inner circle is, like I mentioned before, placing some polished andesite slabs on top of every single block. Have fun doing this. Now, you can choose to not do this if you really wanted to, but I'd recommend doing it as it stops mobs from jumping inside your base. If we left it, they can obviously just jump right over. So I'd strongly recommend adding these in. Alright, and now with all of our slabs added on, we can continue by adding in our inner ring of polished andesite. So to do this, we can go ahead and just head over to any gate, and then from this point here, we're just going to line ourselves up with one of these sides, the one with the lantern on it, and we're going to be counting 9 blocks in towards the center of the base. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And on the 9th block here, we're going to be placing some andesite. Then to the left of this, let's place in our fence gates, and then another andesite like so. And we're going to double these up and chuck a lantern on top, just like we did over here. And now to start off this circle, what we're going to be doing is going to the right by 2 blocks. Then we're going to go in and place 3 blocks. Then we're going to go in again, place 2, place 1, and then we're going to go back to 2, and then back to 1. And now this is like the halfway point here. We're going to chuck another block on top with a lantern, and then pretty much just repeat what we just did. So we're going to go back to 2, then 1, and then 2 again, then 3, and then finally another 3, and then this is where our next fence gate will be. You should be able to see our other gates over here. We're perfectly in line with them, so that way we know everything is all correct. And now, once again, we're going to be repeating this exact same thing all the way around. And now with our inner circle all done, let's once again add on some polished andesite slabs on top. Now with all of that done, it's time to add in our pathways. So for these pathways, I'm going to be using stone, andesite, and also gravel in a kind of textured pattern throughout the entire pathway. I'm first just going to place them in as stone, and then I'll go in when I'm finished and add in all the texture. I'd recommend adding in the texture as you go, as obviously you don't have to go back and add in a bunch of stone and stuff, but I'm just kind of doing it like this for the sake of the video, as it makes things a little bit easier to follow along. So to start off, we're going to head to any outer gate and just kind of replace the blocks underneath the gate with some stone, gravel, and andesite. And we're going to continue this all the way up until this gate here. So let's just not destroy all the gates and place in our pathway like so. Now on the other side here, we're going to be destroying 9 blocks long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then let's just bring this back up around like so. And now with that done, we pretty much just want to get every single side up to this point here. Okay, so now that we're at this point here with all of our pathways, we're going to be adding in our inner ring of pathway here that goes around the house. So to start this off, just choose any side, and we're going to start by going off to the right. And so all of these pathways are going to be 2 blocks wide, but just to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to be doing it 1 block wide, and then we'll kind of just go back over it at the end. You'll see. So we're going to come 1 block before the end here and start on this block, and we're going to go to the right by 3, so 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go in and do 2 blocks. Then we're going to go in and do 1 block like so, going in twice, I guess. Then we're gonna go in and do 2 blocks, and then in again and do 3 blocks. And as you can see, we should have a nice kind of circular arc shape that links us to each of our pathways at the exact same point on each side. Now we're gonna come back down to this side and then start removing some blocks in towards the center of the base. So firstly, we're gonna start with these 3 here. Then on this end block, we're gonna go in by another one and remove these 2. Then we're gonna do the same here and just remove these, and then we can just repeat this on the other side. So remove these 3, go in one, remove this one, and there we go. That's it. It's kind of complicated, but yeah. I'll see if I can explain it one more time kind of easier on this side. So we're going to remove 3 across, then we're going to go in and remove 2. Then we're going to go in and remove 1 a couple of times. Then we're going to go 2 and then back to 3 here. And then let's remove these 3. We're going to go in by 1 and then remove up to here. Then we're going to go in again. We're kind of going in again in line with this, like the end block, if that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. But there you go, you should have something looking like that, minus the cave underneath your base. And yeah, so I'm going to repeat this another 2 times, and I'm also going to fill all of these gaps in with some stone. Well, you'd want to fill it in with stone, gravel, and andesite for the nice texture. Okay, and you should have a nice kind of circular pathway looking like this. And now what it's time to do, for me at least, is go through and texture the entire pathway. And there you go, you should have something looking something like this with all the texture. Just kind of randomly add in some andesite and gravel throughout the entire thing. Now what it's time to do is add in our farm sections, but before we actually add them in, we of course need to add some water in for our farms to absorb water. So to make this nice and easy, you're gonna need a bunch of water buckets regardless. I'm sorry about that, but it's just the way it is, unfortunately. And there are specific places you can place the water, and I mean, it's gonna be a pain in the butt to show you exactly where they are. So what I'd recommend doing is just going underneath any part of the wall and adding in some water, and of course covering it back up. And then as we go along underneath the walls here, we don't want to really go more than like 5 blocks apart. So I'd say just add another water block here, and then maybe here. Just add in like a decent amount of water buckets, just so that your farm never gets thirsty, you know? So there we go. I feel like that is probably enough water. And now what we're gonna do is do the exact same thing on this side here. So let's just add in some water like there, and then under here. And yeah, you kind of get the picture. And now what we can do is make sure our water is adequate by grabbing out a hoe and just hoeing everything. And now that all of my farmland has been hoed, we can see that we have a few patches of dirt that have come up after letting it sit for a little while. And so to fix this, all we need to do is just kind of find the nearest edge of the wall over here and just add in some more water. And now we can re-till this, and as you can see, it turns directly back into farmland. And now we have 2 little spots over here as well, so I'm just going to add a water bucket right here. And then we can re-till this, and bang, there you go, mate. Now for the inner farm, what we can do, as you can see, like the water kind of stops feeding into the farmland over here. So what we can do for our areas that are far away from the wall is replace some of the stone blocks here in the pathway with stone slabs and fill them up with water. And as you can see, that extends our water quite a bit. So what we're going to do is just go around the entire pathway and add in a bunch of stone slabs and also some water inside of those. And it should be good enough for our farm, hopefully. And there we go, that's all the water I needed, and everything is working perfectly. Now, I probably should have mentioned, before you do this inner one, we kind of want to figure out where we want our front door to be. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal if you did do this already, as you can just kind of choose another spot where you want the door to be. I'm going to say I want my front entrance to be right here. And so that means that this section and also this section, we're going to have to leave blank with no farmland, as we're going to be putting in like our animal farm on this side and then our mine entrance and other stuff over there. But you can, of course, just choose to put them in other spots if you really wanted. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just going to mark out my door right here. This is just a placeholder, and that means that this section here and this section here I'm going to leave blank. Sorry if you heard that loud car, it's very annoying. And so now what I'm going to go ahead and do is pretty much just repeat what I did over there in every other section except for these 2. And I'll also be filling them in with the crop of my choice. I'm going to go with carrot and wheat as well, and I'm going to kind of alternate between them. You'll see in just a second. And here we go. Here is the completed farm. So as you can see, I've gone between wheat and carrot on the inside, and then we're back to carrot on the outsides, and then back to wheat and carrot. Yeah, hopefully that kind of makes sense. Feel free to, of course, put in whatever crops you want. But now we're going to be adding in our animal farm first. So this one is just to the left of the door here. And to start off, what we're going to be doing is grabbing some spruce fences and spruce fence gates. And we're going to go to this block right here. And we're first going to be placing in 2 spruce fences. Then we're going to place 3 spruce fence gates and then another 2 fences like so. Then we're going to bring this fence all the way along, just pretty much on top of the grass that's right next to our pathway here. And we're going to bring this all the way down to the end here. And then we're going to do the exact
exact same thing that we did on that side. Then we're going to come back to the front here, and you can see we have a 4-block long section. Then we're going to come down to this 3-block long section, and on this block right here, we're going to chuck a lantern on, and we're going to do the same on this side, so this block right here. And from these points here, we're going to be extending our fence towards the wall here to kind of section off the areas, and we're going to be adding in a fence gate in between them like so. So we're going to do the same on here, add in 2 fences, another 2, and another one, and then a fence gate. And now all that's left to do is just add in some grass to kind of make it look a little bit more lively for you and your animals. So just add in a bunch of grass, and then of course add in your animals as well. You can just bring them in through your fence gates. I'm not going to do that because they're going to be loud and annoying. Now we're going to head over to this pathway over here, and we're going to head over to here, and we're going to count 3 blocks across from the grass here. So 1, 2, 3, and on this block here, we're going to be removing a 3-block wide section, and we're going to extend this another 3 blocks in. So 1, 2, 3, and then we can just do that. Now at the very end, let's add in some stone, andesite, and gravel, and on top of them, let's add in 3 spruce fences. Then we're going to stand over here and place some andesite stairs like so, and fill them up with some water. Then we can just fill in the remainder of this with a random textured pattern of gravel, andesite, and stone. Now to the right of this here, let's just add in a couple of random hay bales and some extinguished campfires, and then yeah, that's pretty much it for our horse stable area. You'd want to just hook him up to this fence right here, and he'll just stand here nice and chill. Now with our horse stable done, let's head over to the central area of our pathway here, and we're going to line ourselves up with our lanterns here, and this is also, I should mention, we're adding in our mine entrance. So starting off, we're going to be replacing this block right here in the center of the pathway and replace it with some stone bricks. Then we're going to go in line with our lantern still and replace this block here with some more stone bricks, and then we're going to pretty much be creating a square out of these. So let's just extend this to the left here, and then we're going to meet back up with this one, and then we're going to do the same down here as well. And now we're going to be replacing all of these blocks with some stone bricks. Next up, we're going to be outlining all of these stone bricks with some stone, andesite, and gravel, the same texture for our pathway. Now on top of each corner of our stone brick section, we're going to be placing some stone brick walls, and then in between them, let's add in some spruce fence gates. Now we're going to add in the roof. So for this part, I'd recommend grabbing some scaffolding, but I'm just going to be flying to make the video quicker. So on top of all of our stone brick walls here, let's add in 2 spruce fences. And then starting on this left side here, we're going to be placing some spruce trapdoors on the corners here. And then just to make things easier for the rest of the trapdoors, we're actually first going to be placing in our campfires. And we want these to be facing this way so that the logs are kind of pointing towards the spruce trapdoors. It doesn't really matter though. So once we've added all those in, let's just extinguish them. And then we can place the remainder of our spruce trapdoors so that they're facing the right way. Now to the right of all these logs, let's place in some spruce slabs in the center. And then we're pretty much just going to do the exact same thing that we just did on this side. And now all that's left to do is add in some lanterns on the front and back, and we're also going to be, of course, destroying all of this and just going down as far as we want for our mine entrance. I'm just going to leave it there because, yeah, I'm lazy. Now to make it look nicer, I would recommend replacing all of the dirt with some stone. Of course, once we get down far enough, the sides will just be stone, so we don't really have to worry about it too much. But just, yeah, to make it look nicer, replace it with some stone. And then you can, of course, choose to add the ladder on whichever side you want. I feel like this side or this side would probably be the most practical, but because of the thumbnail and making it look nice, I'm going to be adding the ladder on here so you can actually see it from the perspective. And of course, you want to extend this as far down as you want. Something else I'd also recommend adding is a nice water pool at the bottom, so I'll actually just add that in right now. So if you want to play it safe, I'd recommend replacing every single block on the ground with a water block, just like that, and then you can, of course, just create your kind of tunnels going off in every direction like so. Now, if you want it to look a little fancier, you can add in a ring of stone stairs around it, like so, and that way you kind of have a step up out into your mining tunnel areas. But this also means that you can die if you miss and hit the sides like so. So just every time you jump off, make sure you're kind of going into the central area. You can, of course, replace these with slabs as well if you wanted, just to make it more safer and still have a kind of nice step up into your mining tunnels. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the mine entrance. Okay, and now it's on to our final exterior area, which is our blacksmith, which, like I mentioned, is completely optional. You can just replace this with some more storage or whatever the hell you want. But if you want to add the blacksmith, you can follow along with me right now. So let's first grab out some stone stairs, and we're going to go in the center of this 3-block area here and place in 3 stone brick stairs like so. Then we're going to head over to this block right here and do the same thing, but just with 2 stone brick stair blocks. Then beside each of these, let's place in a blast furnace, and then in between both of these, add in some more stone brick stairs. Then we're going to grab some magma blocks and place a strip of 3 like so, as it kind of looks like lava. I wanted to add in lava, but I'm pretty sure it would set this wood on fire as it's too close. base. Now we're going to be replacing these 2 blocks here with some polished andesite stairs on the sides, and then in the center we're going to add in some andesite and cobblestone textured up until this point here, so 4 blocks high, and then on top of this we're going to place a campfire and surround it with some spruce trapdoors. And that kind of looks like our chimney. It's very phallic, and I'm sorry about that. Now beside our blacksmithing area, we're going to add in a couple of barrels, and then in front of our blast furnaces on this section here, we're first going to be adding in an anvil, and then in front of this one we're going to add in some spruce trapdoors, kind of creating like a box, and we're going to place some water in the center. Now we're going to replace some of the grass on the floor here with some rooted and also coarse dirt, just to kind of make it look like it's been used quite a bit, just like that, nothing too crazy. And then we can also go around and add in some grass and flowers to our area. This is of course optional, it just kind of makes the area look a little nicer. So we can add in some stuff over there, and then also in this area here it looks kind of bland, so we can just add in some grass and stuff everywhere. Just like that, nice and quick, and it makes it look a little bit nicer as well. And so now we're completely done with all of the exterior of the base. Now all that's left to do is of course our actual house in the center, which shouldn't be too difficult, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is destroying this door because it's not in the right spot. And then we're going to be extending our pathway up by an additional block like so, and then we're going to extend it up by another block like this. Then in these gaps we're going to be placing some stripped spruce wood, and we're going to extend this up 4 blocks high, and then we're also going to fill in this block as well. Now I'm also going to mention that our walls here are textured between stripped spruce wood and also spruce planks. Feel free to not do this if you can't be bothered, but it does make the base look a little bit nicer, so I'm going to be doing it kind of as we go. Now underneath this block here, let's add in some upside down spruce stairs, and then we're going to be adding our door back in like so. Now beside these on each side, let's add in some spruce logs and just kind of extend these all the way up to the same height here. And now we're pretty much just going to go around and create the first layer of all of our walls. So let's first go to the right, and we're going to be going in and placing in 2 blocks like so. Then we're going to go in again and place in a spruce log. Then we're going to add another 2 like so, and then another log, and then this is kind of our side wall here, so we're going to be placing 3 and then a spruce log. And then we're going to go in again, place 2, place in your spruce logs, then another 2, and then yeah, you kind of get the picture. It's just this repeated pattern across the entire thing. I'm going to do it right now. So now that's our outline done. Now I'm going to just pretty much raise all of these up to 4 blocks high, and also texture all of the stripped spruce wood with some planks as well. So there we go. With all of that done, your house should be looking something like this. We want to be leaving this front gap here, and on the sides and the back of course, without anything, as these are going to be replaced with some other blocks later on. But pretty much just raise everything else to be 5 blocks high. Now let's go around and add in a few extra details while we're at it. So on all of these grass blocks here, we're going to be adding in some flowered azalea and also regular azalea bushes. So we're pretty much just going to be going around the entire base and just adding in a kind of textured pattern similar to our walls here between flowering azalea and regular azaleas. Now with all of our azaleas added in, let's add in some lanterns on top of these ones, and then we're going to go to every single side and add in some more lanterns that are kind of in line with our pillars here. Now let's add in some cool little accents that I came up with. They're kind of weird, but yeah. So what we're going to be doing is heading to the right side first, and on this section of wall, we're going to be placing some spruce trapdoors, 3 in total on this side, and then another 3 here, and we're going to close these up to create a kind of pillar here. And then on top of these, we're going to add in some stone slabs. Now while we're at it, we might as well add in some stone stairs up here as well, and then we can kind of just repeat the exact same thing we just did on this side over here. And now this exact same design is going to be repeated on every single side of the house, so let's just go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, and now with all of those added in, we're going to be adding in some little windows now on the 2 sides of our house. So not the back opposite the door, but only on the sides. We're going to be replacing these 2 blocks here with some glass panes, just like so, and let's do the exact same thing on this side as well. Next, we're going to head back to the door and add in a nice little design. And so firstly, what we're going to do is add in a campfire above the door here, so 1 block above the upside down stair block, and we're going to extinguish it as well. Then to the left and right of this, let's add in some spruce trapdoors, and then below the spruce trapdoors, let's add in a fence on either side, just like so. Okay, and before we can continue on with the rest of the top half of the base, we first need to add in our ceiling here for the first floor. And everything here is at the perfect height for the ceiling. So what we're going to do is just grab out some spruce slabs and place them on the top half of the topmost block here, and just fill in this entire area with spruce slabs. Okay, and now with our ceiling added in, let's now go around and add in some stone slabs on top of all of these spruce wood pillar blocks here. So just go around the entire base and add all all of these in like so. Now in between all of these slabs, we're going to be adding in some stone and also more stone slabs. So pretty much to the left and right of our corner pillars here, we're going to be adding in some stone blocks, and then beside these, we're going to add in some more stone slabs. And now this is only on these corner parts here. We're not adding this on the front or the sides or the back. So we're just going to do this on each corner part. And there we go. You should have something looking kind of like this. Now while we're at it, let's add in some flower pots on top of all of these stone blocks here. And then we're also going to be filling these in with just some random flowers. So I like the idea of keeping them kind of color themed. So on this one, we're going to go with yellow and orange. Then we're going to go white over this side. And then we're going to go back to blue. And then we're going to go over to red on this side here. It doesn't really matter too much. So just feel free to put whatever flowers you want in those. Okay, and now it's time to add in our walls for the upper floor here. And all of these are going to be 5 blocks high as well. So we're first going to start off directly above the door. And we're going to be extending our pillars first. So these pillars are going to be placed behind these pillars, kind of in between these 2 slabs right here. So let's just place our first ones like so. And then we're going to raise these up to be 5 blocks high. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now in between these, we're going to be adding in a ring of spruce planks and also stripped spruce wood blocks. And we're going to be filling in the gap here with some glass panes. Now we're going to be repeating a similar design to this down here. So firstly, above the window here, let's add in a campfire and extinguish it. To the left and right, we're going to add in some more spruce trapdoors. Then at the bottom of the window, let's add in a spruce slab and some more spruce trapdoors like so. And then we're going to connect them up on the sides with some spruce fences. We're also going to be adding in a lantern below the campfire. And then on top of the spruce slab here, we're going to add a flower pot with another flower of your choice. Now we're going to extend this wall up a little bit further, just kind of to hide the gap that's going to be created by the roof. So we're just going to be extending only the wall, not the pillars, up by an additional block like so. Now let's add in our little balcony part and over to the other side over here. So let's place in 2 blocks like so, leaving a gap in the middle, as this is where our door is going to be, and we can add that in right now. Now we're going to be pretty much creating a ring around this door, and at the top here, let's place in some upside down spruce stairs. And now we're pretty much just going to extend this up to be in line with the top of our pillars here. We don't need to go up further like we did on this side. So just add in your walls like so. And then we're going to go diagonally across here and pretty much repeat exactly what we just did. So we're going to add in another upside down spruce stairs, another door like so, and then extend this up to be 5 blocks high. And now, so that's pretty much it. So we're going to be repeating this on every single side. So right here, we're going to be transitioning back to our spruce logs, just like this. And then we're going to repeat our doors on this side here, then back to the wall, and yeah, you should get the picture by now. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now. And with all of that done, your top floor should now be looking something like this. Now, once again, it's time to add in our ceiling for this floor. And to do this, we're just going to be, once again, grabbing some spruce slabs and placing them in line with our topmost block here. Not this block here, but this block. So just go around and add in your ceiling like so. Now with our ceiling added, it's finally time to add in the roof. So we're going to be starting this off in a kind of weird spot, which is going to be on these blocks here. So on the rightmost block, let's add in some upside down stone stairs like so. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Then above these, we're going to add in some more stone stairs, kind of facing this way instead. And then in between these, we're going to add some more stone stairs with a slab on top. Now on the right side here, let's add in some more stone stairs faced like so. And below this one, we're going to add a slab. And then to the right of this, another slab. And we're going to bring this down again to make it a full block. And then we're going to do the exact same thing once again with 2 more slabs like so. And now let's quickly repeat this on the other side as well. So another stair, then a slab, then 2 slabs, and then 2 more slabs like so. And so that's it for the shape of the trim of the roof. We're just going to be pretty much repeating this exact same thing on every single side right now. All right, now with all of our trims added in, we're going to be linking them up in the corners here. So we're going to head to just any corner to start off and to the very end here and 1 block above the very bottom. So on this block right here, we're going to extend this over and then bring it to the other side like so. And while we're at it, we're also going to be adding a spruce fence on the corner and then also a lantern below that. And now let's just repeat this in every single corner. And now all that's left to do is pretty much connect all the roofs together with some spruce stairs and spruce slabs. And to do this, it is very easy. We're pretty much doing exactly what we just did down here, except with every single other layer. So starting off here, we're going to be adding some spruce slabs across to this side like so. Then we're going to do the same thing with stairs right here, all the way over to, whoopsie daisy, I'm kind of messing it up. Maybe it isn't too easy. So we're going to bring that over to this side. Then we're going to do the same thing with these stairs up here and bring them across over to the other side. And then with our slabs here, we're just going to, of course, once again, do the exact same thing. And while we're at it, we can extend this over to the other sides as well. And then yeah, we're pretty much just repeating exactly what we just did right here in every single section. So I'm just going to do that right now. We're now fully done with the entire roof and also the entire exterior of the house and all of the base. All that's left to do now is head to our front door and add in all of the interior. So the first thing we're going to do is replace the entire ground with some stone. Now with all of that done, let's head to the direct center of the base, and to find that we're just going to line ourselves up with the window and also the door, and this is the direct center right here, and we're going to place a single spruce log, and then let's extend this all the way up to the ceiling, and we're going to remove this block and also this one, so the one closest to the door here, and let's start adding on our ladder like so, and we can take this up to the second floor and pretty much just extend this all the way up to the ceiling once again, extend our ladder up as well, and just keep doing the same thing. So we're going to extend this all the way up to here, we're going to chuck on a trapdoor right at the top here, and then we can just head back down like so. Now around this ladder here, we're going to be adding in a checkered pattern in the floor with some stone bricks. So on each corner here, we're going to remove these blocks and replace them with some stone bricks, and then we're pretty much just extending this checkered pattern out by an additional layer. So we're going to start it here and then just create like kind of a checkered ring around our existing pattern like so. Now let's turn to the left and add in our crafting area on this corner right here. So firstly, along the top, let's add in some barrels like so, and underneath them on the sides closest to the pillar, we're going to add some spruce slabs, and then coming away from those, some spruce trapdoors. Now below this here, we're going to first add in a crafting table, and beside that an anvil. Then on the other side, let's add in a smithing table and a grindstone. Then on top of the crafting table, let's chuck in a flower pot with an azalea inside, and then on top of the smithing table, a couple of candles, and then ignite them. Now heading to the right, in this window section right here, we're going to be adding in our smelting area. So firstly, along the bottom, let's add in a strip of furnaces like so, and then along the top, we're going to be adding in 2 blast furnaces on the left, and then on the right, we're going to add in 2 smokers with a barrel in the middle. Then below these, let's add in some upside down spruce stairs in the corners with some spruce trapdoors coming away from them, and then in the center, a lantern. Then let's add in some details on top of these bottom furnaces. So firstly, let's chuck in an extinguished campfire, and then in the center here, a flower pot with a blue orchid. Then along the top here, we're going to add in some slabs to get rid of this weird little gap that is above those furnaces. Now heading to the back, let's add in our 2 decorative armor stand sections. So we're going to head to this pillar right here, and then to the right of this, let's add some upside down spruce stairs, and then to the right of that, a spruce slab. Then above this, let's add in some more spruce slabs on the top, and then we're going to place some spruce fence gates and also open them. I don't really know what that's supposed to be, but it just kind of looks cool. Now on top of these 2 blocks here, let's add in some armor stands, and then we're going to repeat this exact same thing on the right side. So once again, some spruce stairs like so, a spruce slab block. Then up here, we're going to add some more spruce slabs, some opened spruce fence gates, and then some armor stands. And I'm just going to quickly chuck on some armor of my choice. So on this right side, I went with diamond and gold, and on the left, I went with iron and chainmail. Now onto the very back section here, which is going to be our enchanting area. So firstly, what we're going to do is fill up this entire back wall here with some bookshelves, all the way up to the top here. And then on the left and right side, we're going to add an additional strip like so. And then down on the bottom, we're going to add in 2 more bookshelves like so. It's kind of annoying. You have to add these in order for the enchanting table to reach level 30. I kind of wish I didn't have to add them in, but it is what it is. And so to make it look a little less weird at the tops here, I added some barrels and then also some upside down spruce stairs below them. And then on top of the bookshelf here on the left side, let's add in a flower pot with a blue orchid. And on the right side, a large amethyst bud. Then we're going to fill in these weird gaps here with some spruce slabs all the way across like so. And then we're going to add another spruce slab directly above our enchanting table here and chuck a lantern on like so. Now heading over to the right side of the base, let's first start off on this corner, so kind of opposite the crafting area here, and we're pretty much just going to fill up this entire section here with some double chests, nice and simple. Then to the left over here, let's add in a strip of barrels along the top, and we're going to fill in the gap here as well with some spruce slabs. Now on the left and right, let's place some upside down spruce stairs with some spruce trapdoors coming away from them with a lantern in the center. And then below here, let's add in some more double chests on the left and right side, and then in the center, a lectern with a book and quill inside. Now all that's left to do for the bottom floor is add in the rest of our lanterns. So for the first one here, we're going to align ourselves up in between these double chests. So on this block right here, we're going to look straight up, place a spruce slab and a lantern on. Then we're going to do the same over here. So align ourselves up with the anvil and the grindstone, look straight up and place another lantern. Then we're going to go in a straight line to the back of the base in line with our lantern here. And we're going to align ourselves up with this smoker and place another slab and another lantern. Then we're going to do the same thing over here and pretty much just align line ourselves up with this lantern and this barrel and place another slab and a lantern. And there we go. That was very complicated, but yeah, that's it for the bottom floor. Alright, so now heading up to the second floor, let's first add in our lanterns, and all of these are going to be on each side and in between the rightmost blocks here, if that makes any sense. So just in between these blocks, we're going to look straight up and place a slab and a lantern, and we're just going to quickly do this in every section. Now it's up to you where you want to place these. I'm going to be doing it in a specific place because, yeah, I don't know why. So we're going to align ourselves up with the front entrance here and go straight up, and this is where our bedroom's going to be. I figured this is probably the best place to put it, as when you come home you kind of just want to go up and sleep if you wanted to sleep, and yeah, that's my reasoning. So directly in front of the glass panes here, we're going to place in our bed. To the left and right of this, some polished andesite. On top of the left side, we're going to place a flower pot with an azalea, and on top of the right side, a large amethyst bud. Now at the very top, let's place in 2 barrels on either side with a spruce trapdoor below each of those, and that's it for our bedroom. Now heading to the left, let's add in our brewing area. And to start off, we're first going to add in our 2 barrels above and our spruce trapdoors below. Now these are actually in every section, so I'm just going to quickly add those in so we don't have to do it every single time. Now let's head back over to the left here, and down below here, let's add in 2 strip spruce wood blocks in the corners, and then we're going to stand like this to place some spruce stairs kind of facing towards the window. And in this block here, we're going to place a water bucket. Then on the left and right blocks here, let's add in some brewing stands, and then in front of our spruce stairs here, let's place in a spruce trapdoor, and to the left and right of that, some spruce signs. And that's it for our brewing area. Now heading to the left once again, along the bottom, let's add in a strip of soul sand, and then in that soul sand, some nether warts, and we're going to cover up the exposed faces with some spruce trapdoors. And that's it for the nether wart farm. Heading to the left once again, this area is very easy. All we're going to do is place in a double chest and then a single chest. And that's it for the entire second floor. Once again, feel free to replace any of these with something you feel is more useful. And with that said, now let's head up to the attic and add in our extra chests. So this is going to be really easy. Firstly, what we're going to do is add in some lanterns on top of all of these blocks on every side. I'm also going to close this trapdoor so I don't keep frickin' falling down. Now while we're standing right here, we're going to be placing some barrels underneath all of these blocks like so, and then pretty much we're just going to fill in the rest of all of the gaps here with some double chests. And there we go, we're fully done with the attic, and now that means we're fully done with the entire base and the entire build. And so, if you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it greatly helps me out a lot more than you think. Cheers for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.